Can you see anybody else? I can't see the
I've got
names
absolutely
popping.
my screen at all. I've got nobody's joined, nobody's.
Oh, yeah, I
Like,
know Carlos joined. I see him. I'm
oh,
sure people are because I'm getting hearts. Aw, hey. So glad
beautiful.
you stopped by.
Marvelous stuff. Do you want to wait for a minute until we get a few more people in, or should we just
Yeah,
crack?
we can wait for a couple of minutes because there's only like 3. But you know what? All of our regulars will be back to listen later no matter what. So,
Yeah,
hey,
definitely.
begrudging. Hey, girl.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
seeing all this. I'm not seeing any of it. I'm not seeing no
really.
comments,
You know
joins.
what? I hate that about live. Sometimes I see nothing and sometimes I see everything.
It's fucking weird. Should we crack on though?
Yeah, let's give her.
All right, we had quite a few questions come through, didn't we, this week? So we just picked like 10 of the best between us, and we're just going to say our piece about them. I've written them all down. Tara hasn't because she's fucking lazy.
It's true. He's not lying.
So I'll read them out and then I'll answer after you. Yeah. Okay. So the first one. A colleague is in a HR process which will likely end in dismissal. He's argumentative, rude, careless, slack, ultra right, misogynistic, tape loving, and a total dick. A opposite to my own values, but it's my job to act as his advocate and stop him from getting sacked or fired. What to do?
Ooh. Ooh, you guys, this one's fun. Okay, I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for this because I'm not going to tell you to go scorched earth here. I'm going to be all diplomatic about this because seriously, this is a matter of not personal preferences or I like someone. This is actually like the rules are there to protect people, even the bastards. So I think that number one, you have to separate your personal feelings from the job at hand. You do have to like do your job. Okay. Like it's really hard. And I'm not going to lie. I would struggle with this because he's a complete Tate loving bastard, according to you. But I would still have to say, do your job. You have to do your job and make sure that the evidence being submitted is like legitimately, you know, evidence and not just hearsay. Like you need evidence. And if the evidence is like conclusive, then you're no longer going to be fighting for him to keep his job. You're just going to be fighting for like the best case layoff scenario, right? Like you want it to be kind of amicable. I mean, if he's done something really bad, he's going to get dismissed. So you can let the evidence speak for itself, but no matter what, you still have to. Even the shittiest person has a right to be defended, unfortunately, in my opinion. And that's just what I think. I think that, whether we like them or not, but I mean, also, if it takes a toll on your personal mental health and this person's being a douchebag to you, you can say, I can't take this case. This needs to be passed on, right? Like, there's different ways to handle it, but I still think, unfortunately, I'm sorry, I'm going to be diplomatic here. You have to do your job. That's it.
I was gonna pretty much say the same thing. Like, we've all worked with people that are difficult. We just have, and we work with people that are difficult. They're twats, but they're not doing anything against the policy. And it depends on how professional you want to be. What I will say is that these people that are on the extreme ends of things, whether that's right or left or whatever it might be, extremists are usually, and I'm not saying they're not bright people, but they don't think intelligently when they're pressed. They think too emotionally. They've got too much emotion invested in whatever it is that they believe. And I've worked for companies in the past that have had real fucking arseholes, for lack of a better term, working for them. And these are people that are horrible, genuinely. Like you wouldn't want these as your fucking your colleagues.
Yeah.
And it appears on the surface like fuck all is being done. Big companies, the ones that I work for, are very, very good at giving people enough rope to hang themselves. So I'll give you an example. Like we had this dude at a place I used to work who was just fucking difficult throughout. He was difficult to work with, but he wasn't particularly offensive. He was just difficult. Anyway, he played the sick game. He was trying to say that the chemicals that we were working with were making him asthmatic, and he was having
Oh.
issues, and yeah, he was going down this compensation path. Anyway, the company we were working for allowed him to do it. They were like, yeah, you get your lawyer, no problem. Over 6 months, they built a case against him. Now, in his mind, they're not doing anything. They're just waiting for the day in his head. But they're not. They're building up a thing in the background. So they will fucking monitor you. They'll get fucking private investigators out to monitor you and see what you're doing. And this guy, despite his respiratory issues, was going to the gym. Anyway, they let this continue for 6 months. And he turned to a boardroom with his fucking no win, no fee lawyer. Like, you basically free unless you win. And there was like 4 or 5 lawyers that had flown in from America, sat on the other side of this boardroom, and they just tore his fucking case apart inside of 20 minutes. And they're like, well, off you fuck. They're very good at letting you do the damage yourself. They don't have to do anything. So whoever's written this, what I would say to them is, you can either be a cunt about it and sort of set traps up for them. So you can say that will trigger them in saying something obscene or sexist or whatever it might be. You can just throw the bait line out and they'll pick up on it because they can't help themselves. And you can give them enough rope that way, or you can just let nature take its course, and you can be professional and you can help them where you can. And you can also be professional in the sense of, like, you don't have to help them in certain areas. There is more than one way to skin a cat. But as you say, Tara, if you want to be professional, you've got to do your job and put your feelings to one side. The thing is, what they've listed here, out of everything, he's argumentative, he's rude, he's careless, all the rest of it. Outside of being ultra right, which is not illegal, by the way, no different to how being ultra left is also not illegal. It's a viewpoint. And a Tate, he loves Tate, which, all right, he's a fucking wanker, but it's an opinion. It's an opinion. It's not illegal to hold that line of thought. And the fact that he's a total dick, well, they've been a bit vague. So those 3 things are just things you don't like about him. It's the rest of it you can catch him out on. So the argumentative part, the rude part, the careless part, that's the bit that
I think the careless one is a really big part of it too. If they're being careless when it comes to their job, right? Like, I mean, you're right, argumentative too. If they're argumentative with like superiors or whatever, then that's gonna hang themselves.
But this is what I'm saying. If when I said, like, you can throw a bait line out, so you can say something outrageous that a leftist would fawn over, but someone on the right would be like, ugh. Just throw loads of that shit out. Because again, what you're saying isn't illegal. It's not. It's not any of those things. It's just your opinion. And people with extreme views don't like others' opinions. So play on that. If you really
Good one, D. I'd have to say I like your answer better. So
just
good
a
one.
little bitchy, you know, it's just a little bit more. Yeah, just a
Yeah.
bit more answer. Right. Should we move on?
Yes. Hey, Wendy.
Hello, Wendy. Right, number 2. Dear Agony aunts, my husband left me for my sister. They're getting married and to attend. Do I go?
Fuck no. No. No, dude. My first response to that is, oh, hell no. But, okay, there is another side to this. You have to ask yourself, what's your motive? Like, what is gonna come out of this if you do go? You don't owe them a single thing. The fact that this is a thing is just so disgusting. Like, I mean, what kind of man does something like that, to be honest? But all right. And what kind of sister agrees and does it? Like, I don't even know, but that's neither here nor there. Basically, they want you to go to make it look like to all the extended family and all the friends that you're over it, that you're okay with this. You're trying to like justify how they're trying to like make it out like it's okay what happened and that you're good with it. I mean, my first instinct is to be like, oh hell no, I'm not. I don't. You don't need to go to that. Why would you want to go to that? I mean, unless you want to go and make some, you know, I don't know, like trouble or something, but I just wouldn't. I wouldn't want to. I just wouldn't even want to see that. Like that's disgusting. And that's all I have to say about that.
Okay, I'm gonna have a drink first. Okay, so it's I could do with a little bit more detail because the thing is, this is going to sound really weird, but they might be all right with it. Like the fact that their sister and their husband are together. Now, for me personally, that would do my fucking head in. I would hate them both. I would never see them again, and I would wish them nothing but the worst. However, like, I, if I didn't love, obviously I'm heterosexual, so this is a little bit the other way around. If my bird left me for my brother, but I didn't love her anymore, there was no love there from me to her, and from her to me. It's completely dead. We never really did love each other, but her and my brother are besotted, and they're genuinely happy. They haven't left me for them. It's some time has passed. Maybe I could get over it. Maybe I'd be more pissed off at my brother, but initially, my initial thoughts are, "Fuck no, I'm not going." But if I do go, it's going to be chaos. I'm going to punch your wedding cake. I'm going to spread rumors around about the parents. I'm going to tell everyone that you left me for my brother because you gave me an STD off of him. All of that stuff. Fuck you. You ruined my life. I'm going to ruin your big day. I'm going to I'm going to do a big steaming shit all over your big day because you did. Fuck you. So I think it depends on what your relationship is with your sister. In this case, sister. As for the guy, I don't think it matters too much. If you're still close with your sister and hate the other guy, and you don't bear any malice towards your sister, then I don't see any reason why you can't put it to one side and go.
That's
Very
true.
very unlikely though, isn't it? Let's be real. That situation is fucking unlikely because I know I wouldn't forgive my
But
brother.
you're right to actually think about that, Dee. I never even thought about that. And you're right. Maybe you are perfectly fine with it. Maybe you don't hate either one of them. And if you don't, then I don't see a problem with going. I mean, it's just like you're going to your sister's wedding. I mean, if you're good with it, then I would suggest go. I mean, or go anyways and do the scorched earth thing and say your ex gave you the STD. I like that one.
Yeah, all of
But
that. Oh yeah, they're
dude.
on that debate until they've had a drink. That all of
I,
that. You better believe.
I I wouldn't even want to see it. I'm just gonna say, I'm gonna be flat out honest. Like, no thanks. I don't even want to go. I mean, it might be temporary, great in like the short term, but it's not gonna make the situation awesome. Like, no, I'm not giving them the satisfaction. Fuck that. That's just my nah.
No,
Mm-mm.
it's like I am on the same page. I wouldn't, if it was me, I wouldn't fucking go. Actually, now I think about it, even if I was all right with the whole thing, I still wouldn't want questions off their guests like, "Oh, weren't you married to them?" Yeah, I
Didn't we come
was.
to your wedding 10 years ago or 5 years ago? No, like fuck
Yeah,
that. Because it'll all be the same ones more than likely, except for maybe friends difference, but family, no, I wouldn't, no. Just too
I wouldn't.
awkward.
I wouldn't do it. Fuck that. Right, question 3. Dear Agony Aunts, my brother recently came out to the family as a furry, which I have no problem with, but now my mum is telling me I have to put a litter box in my house to accommodate. Am I wrong to say fuck that?
Okay. At first glance, this situation seems to be all about, the furry costume and the litter box. But this just comes back down to your basic run of the mill boundaries, people. Boundaries and enforcing your boundaries, okay? It's wonderful that you're accepting of your brother and I think that's all like that's great sibling love and all that, but if you don't want to put a litter box in your house, that's I mean, you pay for that house. That's your space. That's your sanctuary and you do not owe anybody anything and you have the right to say no and mean it and don't apologize for it. As far as I'm concerned, too many of us think that oh well they're family or we allow our families to pressure us, but having good family relationships means you also have good, strong boundaries and just stick to them. It's one thing to be supportive of somebody you love, but it's another thing for that to infringe or encroach upon your own territory. And no, my answer to that is no, you were right. And yeah, no, I'm not doing that, is all you need to say. And I love you, but no, that's it.
You,
That's all I got.
your answer to that is fucking far more diplomatic than mine. I'll be honest. If this was me, I would have the whole thing debunked by lunchtime. Now, people could hear that and be like, "Oh my god, you can't be against what they are. That's ridiculous." No, because then it's not like they're gay or lesbian or they're trans. Those things I can accept completely. But the moment you think you're a dog, you hear. But I'll go along with it. I'll be like, "Yeah, no problem. Here's your collar, by the way. You're going to wear that when we go out in a minute. I'm going to put this lead on you. Get the tennis ball. Don't pick that tennis ball up. Put it in your mouth like a good dog." And you're going to get in the trunk of the car. You're not going to get on the seat, and don't think you can sit on the sofas. And then after you've walked 10 miles and chased down that tennis ball hundreds of times, we're going to get you home. We're going to give you some dry food, and then we're going to give you some chicken chunks and a nice gravy. How about it? And then when no, I don't want to do that. But so it's not that you think you're an animal. This is about where you want to take a shit. You fucking disgusting human being. Go in the garden. Go in the garden. Or wait until I get you to the park, and I'll pick up your poo. We'll take it to a bin, and then you can go around the park and sniff all the other dogs' bums, and they can sniff yours. How about it? Let's see how long you want to be a fucking furry for then. You absolute fucking retard. And all people cosplaying, do your thing with that. Like that's one thing. But to be like, no, I am a dog. Are you now?
To be
Are,
fair, I don't think it's a very large part of the furry population that uses a litter box. Most of them are quite just they dress up and they go to their furry hangouts or whatever. But I mean, for the ones that are, I actually have to say your answer's like pretty spot on. If they're
no,
going to insist and demand that you put that litter box in your house, then they I guess they're eating on the floor and eating their dried food with their little moist niblets and going poo poo at the park while you walk them on the leash.
absolutely. And I'm not going to carry their shit for them. I don't believe in that. I'm going to tie it to the collar of the dog, and you'll carry that. You did that. You carry that. And I don't understand this fascination with wanting to shit in the litter box. I mean, I have shit in the litter box before, and it's not convenient. It's uh, Going for a dump in a litter box is not convenient. It's really not.
Well, who
It's
has to scoop it, okay? And there's people out there that train their cats and dogs to poop in the toilet. I've seen those videos before AI, all right? So they exist, so it's not impossible.
it's just more natural shit in the toilet. When I was like 15, this is going to be so gross. I did shit in someone's litter box. It's bad, but it happened, and it was a neighbour of my friends. We used to go to the side of his house for a cigarette when we were like 15. And if she caught us, she'd squirt us with a hose. She wouldn't tell us that she was there. She'd just pop up over the fence and fucking squirt us with this hose and put the cigarettes out because she hated the fact that we smoked. Anyway, she caught me on a bad day once. It was like my last cigarette. I've had a shit day. And she's popped up over the fence with the hose. Absolutely fucking soaked me, ruined the cigarette. I'm fuming. I'm fucking fuming. She's got two cats and she left the litter box outside. So, like, about an hour or two later, I took the litter box and I did a shit in it and I put it back. I'm not proud, but she upset me. Just the things you do when you're young, innit? I wouldn't do it now. I mean,
Oh my god.
you know what?
Remind me never to make you angry, D. But you
I'm
know
trying to.
what? We've
I'm,
all been there, okay? We've all wanted to get our revenge, and some of us have our ways.
she shouldn't.
It's actually funny as hell.
She shouldn't have left it outside. But do you know what? I'm so glad I can't see the comments. I can't see who's online. I
Oh,
can't
you know
see.
what? Actually, we have some pretty good, good ones. Begrudging Dispatch said cats go outside too, and Wendy says it's a no, just a no. And Begrudging said exactly. I would not let a real cat come. And Wendy said exactly. You can eat your meal on the floor. So exactly, you guys, like for real.
You're all correct, girls. All, Well, I
It's
think
one thing to love your sibling. It's another thing to let them shit in a litter box in your house. It's all
don't
good. You don't have to do it.
draw the line somewhere. Do you know what I mean? Have a fucking standard. Right, number 4. If a friend came to you and said, "I don't think I ever became the person I was supposed to be," what would you say to them?
Ooh, this one is kind of it's tough because I think a lot of people struggle with that, you know? From people that have come to me to talk, to open up. This is a question that I've had more than once. And I think, the thing is that first of all, your friends feeling something very valid, I think, like don't invalidate their feelings. Um but also try to remind them that who they think they were supposed to be is a standard most likely set by society or parents or people around them versus the reality of who they were supposed to be, because who you're supposed to be is right now in this moment, not some idea. Like maybe somebody instilled a picture in your mind, or even maybe you did that, but at the end of the day, you know who you are right now is enough. It's good enough. And if you could, like, be sensitive to your friends' feelings in the moment. So validate their feelings, but then encourage them and say, well, where did this standard or this idea come from? Ask questions, get them talking. Those are the kinds of things that I try to do. And say, did this come, is this a society thing? Is this an expectation thing? Are you being unfair to yourself? Or also, is this about comparing yourself to others? Because we live in a world where, like, social media and people and their perfect edited, curated lives are for everybody to see. We don't see what goes on behind the closed doors. We see what they want us to see. And comparison game is like really bad. Okay? Um it causes so much damage, and what you have to realize is what you have energy for. What are your resources? What are you currently working for in terms of like brain bandwidth? I always love it cuz I have autism, so I'm always comparing like brain to computer stuff. And having the bandwidth is like having the brain power and not being overloaded. So I mean everybody's like threshold is different. So that person might have more money, that person might have more time, that person might have more energy. I mean, that person might not be struggling with the things you're struggling with. They might not have as many responsibilities. I think a lot of things factor into this idea of what we're supposed to be. And I think 90% of the time, if you examine those things closely, you'll find it was never yours to begin with. It was something that was like fed to you, like, programmed into you by either society, others, or even yourself. I mean, it's okay to hope that things turned out differently, but accept the things you cannot change. Stop beating yourself up and just do the best you can to make the who you are now, what you can do moving forward, and do it within your own means, whether that's financially, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, whatever. And that's my best advice. That's it. That's all I got.
No, that's really, really solid advice. And I agree with what you said on comparing. Comparison is the thief of joy. I can't remember who said that. Someone fucking far smarter than me, but it is quite a famous quote. And there is such a standard now to be this I don't know, this perfect image of whatever it is you're following online or whatever the fuck it is. People, I think, have forgotten how to be themselves. If someone came to me and said, well, what this person has just said, I don't think I ever became the person I was supposed to be. I think my honest answer with them to them would be, you became a result of your choices. So you are what you are supposed to be. You don't realize it yet, but you're a result of your choices. For the most part, there is some things that happen to people that are not their fucking choice, and that can change everything. But for the most part, you are your choices.
Yeah.
Embrace them. If they're not the wrong choices, embrace them. And like you say, what are you supposed to be anyway? Aren't you supposed to just be fucking happy? Isn't that the
Yeah.
point? You haven't got to be of a level of anything. I don't think. Not when you're comparing yourself to like the 1% in whatever category it is. You're just damaging yourself.
Yeah.
You you can be great in your own way. You don't have to
Yeah.
be of how someone else is. Be great in your own way. Do your own thing. And dare to fucking be great as well. And don't be afraid to take risks about being yourself.
Exactly.
Just sometimes it is a bit of risk taking, but nothing ventured, nothing gained. And when it comes to things like improving a skill set on something or achieving something, I've never seen anyone put all their effort in and fail.
Yep.
There might be stumbling blocks along the way.
Yep.
Not saying there won't be knockbacks and all that kind of thing, but ultimately, if you keep at it, time and effort, I've never seen anyone fail. Eventually, you will get to where you're supposed to be if you don't think you're there already. So I think that would be
That's
my
true.
yeah. Well, that's about all I've got to say for it. I think we covered that one pretty swiftly. To be honest,
Beautifully. What I
uh,
missed, you nailed. So yay.
probably the most sophisticated answer I've ever given. Right.
Hello, Suze.
Hello. I can't again like everyone. I can't see who's in the chat. I can't see
That's
comments.
why I'm making sure to welcome people as they come in.
Yeah, please do. I know I'm usually really shit and ignorant with comments, but this time I really can't fucking see them. So sorry. Right. Number 5. Dear Agony Aunts, somebody wrote Wendy hearts Jason on the back of my exercise book. Jason has seen it. How do I face the world? Wonder who that was from.
Oh, I wonder who asked me that question. Um, you know what? I'm going to say own it, okay? People are going to feed off of your energy. So if you act like it's so shameful and embarrassing, they're going to bug you relentlessly. Own that shit. If you don't like Jason, what you need to do is basically explain loudly in front of him with a laugh like, "Oh, somebody has way too much time on their hands," and make it apparent that it wasn't you. But I mean, if you do like him, then just own it. Like own it, laugh about it. It's funny. And I mean, obviously, even if he doesn't return your heartthrob for him, which we don't know because we have very limited information to work with here, but um just own it. All Wendy says, real problem still haunts me, but I did like Jason. Okay. So you should have just owned it, girl. I get it. I have those like things that keep me awake at night, like those, I should have, why didn't I? I could have done it better. So, you know what? At the end of the day, you should just own it. Anytime something like that happens, I say own it. Just wear it. Yep.
No, again, like you kind of just echoed what I was going to say. If it's really what you think, although the friend wrote it, or somebody wrote it, somebody else wrote it. It wasn't Wendy that wrote it; it was someone else. But if it's true, then they've just done the legwork for you. They were
Yeah.
correctly your wingman or wingwoman in this case.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I reckon if he's seen it, even if he hasn't got the hots for you, a part of him is still going to think that's fucking lovely. I've got a lot of time for her, and you can always win him round. And if you didn't like him, you could just say, "I asked my friend to write down the ugliest person ever." So, there you go. There's a winner either way.
Ooh, I love that one. I was never that quick thinking back in high school though. Like I was so easily like I was so easily embarrassed. I'd be more likely to cry when shit like that happened. Looking back, I had no ability to retaliate whatsoever. That was a very learned skill that happened later on as self-preservation. But in high school, I was like such a geek, man. Like, oh my God, I couldn't. They couldn't think of anything. I'm like, yo, yeah? Well, you're just a stupid head. I mean, who says that when they're 13? That's what haunts me, Wendy. When I looked at somebody that was totally like burning the shit out of me, making fun of me at the stupid Valentine's Day dance, and I looked at them and be like, "Oh yeah, well you're just a stupid head." I mean, oh my God, to this day, I hate that. That keeps me awake at night. I've got plenty of burns now. Come at me, brother. I'm waiting for ya. Like
Well, I think a lot of it is also like people fear rejection, don't they?
Mhm.
Oh, people don't like the idea of being rejected. I've mindset of fuck that, embrace the rejection because like, all right, you might get rejected fucking 30 times, but one or two are gonna say yeah. It's just as a law of average.
Uh-huh.
Eventually, you keep knocking, someone will answer. Embrace,
Exactly. Who
embrace.
cares if they reject you? I look at people like their cups of tea. I mean, your flavor they just might not like your flavor, and they're a different flavor. You might not like their flavor. Who cares? It doesn't mean either flavor is bad. It just means that we don't like the tea, and it's their problem. Move on. Who cares if they don't like it? Opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one. We have to learn to let it go and not care so much what everyone thinks. Because if I
Exactly.
did, I wouldn't be dressed like this for all y'all. you know I'd still be hiding behind my picture, you know?
Right. Where are we? Yeah, well, we've done that one. Okay, this is question 6. Fucking hell, we're going through them. Right, quite a long one. My boyfriend and I live together. We have a kid. He won't help at all. He just sits around on his lazy ass and plays Call of Duty all day.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, online buddies. I don't know what to do anymore. Do I stay and put up with it for the kid, or do I just leave and say fuck it?
Oh, oh, it's like somebody took a page out of my notebook back in the day. Alrighty then. Um, oh, this is a tough one, you guys, because I get it. You know, um, guys in their games, some girls in their games, okay? It can be an escape. It can be a way to connect with other people. It can be a way to unwind. But anything outside of a good level of moderation is just asking for trouble. And I mean, I'm going to tell you from personal experience, nagging is not going to work, bro. Like, this is not going to help the situation. I don't know that this is like divorce worthy or not. It depends. Like, we don't have enough details to make, you know, a real judgment, in my opinion. I think what I would stop doing, I'd stop doing certain things like his laundry, for instance, and letting the things pile up and, maybe putting that shit where you can see it on his side of the bed. I think that there's two ways to skin a cat. You know, he has his dishes, you have your dishes, and he's not allowed to touch your dishes because you locked the cupboard on your dishes. And when he runs out of dishes, he's got to wash dishes because he has no other choice. I mean, it just depends, like there's ways of things that you can do to get around this situation, but I mean, then again, some people are just hopeless causes. So you really have to, knowing the details that you know and what you're able to contend with, decide, is there anything good about this person that makes me want to continue on this life journey with them? Or is it now time to part ways amicably? Because if you guys are yelling and shouting and screaming and arguing in front of the kiddos, that's no better. You guys aren't doing each other any service. And even if you look at it, you know, from any kind of spiritual standpoint, it's still not good because then you're just falling into problems by hating on each other every day. And that's not a good life thing to do. Now, if you can be a bit creative and you want to try some things before you make a really big life altering decision like that, if you feel like there's a chance, you might want to try doing some things like that. Don't be his mom. Don't clean up after his mess. Let him reap the rewards of the fruits of what that's like. I mean, you could try that too. Or you sit down and you say, well, I've had enough and this is where I'm at. And if you're not willing to change, then I need a change of scenery that doesn't smell like old underwear and dirty socks. And, you know, this isn't what I signed up for. This isn't what I want to continue. So it is a tough one. I just, I would try being creative first. That's just me, but not everybody's me. So, I think at the end of the day, nagging and yelling and screaming and pleading isn't going to change anything with a spouse. With anybody really, but with a spouse, no, you can't force somebody to do what you want or to become who you want or to fill their role properly. I mean, you're not their mom or their dad, you're their partner. So, you're just going to have to decide what you're able to do about this.
Again, pretty good answer. As someone that does like their gaming, not to that extent, not all fucking day. I think it's a topic we've covered before. Like, people need their things outside of their not family, but outside of their relationship, they've got to have something that they love for them. And if this person's fingers came in, that's fair enough. If what they're saying is true to the word and they're on it all day and they've got responsibilities, are they just doing it because they're trying their fucking luck and it's like, well, they haven't said anything yet, so I can get away with this? If that is the case, just sit down with them and just fucking say, like, look, this isn't like it was before we had a kid. I need a hand fucking raising them. They're your child as well. You're not really pulling your fucking weight at the moment. You're hanging around on games with people you've never met. Your kid and what they need is going by the wayside. I'm not even asking on my behalf. I'm asking on our child's behalf. You're letting them down. Someone who's got no say in this. And like I say, I like a game, but if I've got other shit going on, other responsibilities, I'm not doing it. I'm just not. Like, there has to be this thing inside their head that says, like a guilt switch almost. Like, no, I really should be doing X, Y, and Z. I shouldn't be hanging out with some fucking dude in another country I've never met before. I've got a family to attend to. I've got shit to do. If everything you need to do as a parent and as a husband and everything else is wrapped up, have a couple of hours in the evening. I don't see anything wrong with that. Especially if, like, a kid said, mum wants to fucking watch something on TV with a bottle of wine away from your fucking annoying ass. Go upstairs and play on your game then. Don't do it all fucking day. Make that compromise. Because, like, as fun as it might be, that game ain't ever going to love you like a family.
Yeah.
So look at what serves you first before you start serving it.
Something else actually crossed my mind, Dee, and I was thinking about it. I mean, a lot of women, they'll just naturally be givers. They'll give and give and give and give and give. And they expect that their partner understands that they're supposed to return the favor. But most men or most people don't understand that, okay? That's not how
No.
their brains are wired. So I don't know if you've ever tried to like leave him with the kids and go stay with a parent and get him to have a taste
Yeah.
of what that feels like, and he has no other choice but to do it, and you just trust that they're going to still all be alive when you get home. Sometimes we moms are very protective and we don't want to give dad a go, but I think sometimes you have to, unless there's like a serious like abuse issue that would happen, I think you should maybe even try that first, because if you do that, he might actually then understand how overwhelming it can be. And I'm sure within a few hours, he'll be calling your phone going, oh my God, I'm sorry, So if you haven't already, that might be an option to give it a go before you go to divorce court. Okay. Like just a thought. And Sue said, when kids are involved, you need to be a team. So yes, that's very true. You do. It takes both people, both parties decided that this is what they were going to do, and now you guys need to be together. And sometimes one party isn't always fair about it, but that's where good communication and boundaries, again, about boundaries, right? And
Yeah.
you know what, people, boundaries are hard to enforce. It's not easy at first. Things can appear to be getting worse, not better.
No, but equally, I think whoever's written this, again, like, it's kind of vague. I don't think they're married. I think they just said boyfriend. So,
Okay, so boyfriend, well, relationship, I mean, they have a
but
kid together, so
yeah, either way, kind of irrelevant. But my point is, like, whoever this is, they knew what that person was like. And the reality is, some men are just fucking losers. They just are. That's not me shitting on all men, but some men are fucking pathetic. There used to be a
yeah.
dude that I worked with, and I met him by happenstance, or happenstance rather. But his name was Lewis, and he was just a fucking idiot. He was going out with someone that worked with my mum, and we ended up working at the same place. So it was pure chance that my mum knew this person. Anyway, he was going out with someone she worked with. She had a baby with him, and he had 2 weeks paternity leave, and I think he spent a week and a half of it doing some Comic-Con thing
Ugh.
across the country. And it's just like, hang on a minute, you just had your son, you're living at your mother-in-law's house, because I think they were married at that point. You've got two,
Dude.
2 weeks off to bond with your child and potentially sort out your own fucking house, because that's what most respectable people would do. And you've decided to go 300 miles up the country and dress up as a fucking Power Ranger for the next 10 days. You are a cunt. However,
Oh my God, dude.
but this is what I'm saying. But my point lies in this bird that he was going out with, Laura, I think her name was. You're dating a fucking loser, and the signs are there. It's not like he turned into that after they had a child. He was always like that. And I just think this is the result of you letting a complete and utter fucking pathetic specimen of a human being jizz in you. What were you thinking, love? Why would you let this fucking idiot nut in you? Like, why would you procreate with this? You have to look at it sometimes and think your choices are just as shit as the person that you're with. You are, again, you're the result of your choices.
I can't even comment on that because I had my own experiences with that.
No,
And you're
but
absolutely right. It's about taking accountability for what
sure.
is your decision, for
But
sure.
this situation in particular was not one of control or coercion or abuse or any of that shit.
No, I
This
agree.
this Lewis was a fucking wet lettuce. It's not like he was bullying her to stay with him or anything like that. If anything, I think it was the other way around.
Yeah.
She's the prettiest of women, do you know what I mean? But anyway, by the
Yeah.
by, you settled with this fucking idiot. Now, if you're with someone who is bullying you, coercing you, abusing you, all of that shit, you haven't really got a say in it. All right, it's a mistake. You've made a mistake by picking this person, and
Well, and some men are really good at love bombing you and making you think there's somebody, and then you find out already too late when you already have feelings that they're not that person. So there
yeah.
is that too, but you still, and I still take my own accountability because if you look deep enough, there are red flags, and it is our responsibility, to a point on who we do procreate with. I think that is a very good point, D, and I think it needs to be said. And definitely, even I take my own like accountability for that. Like, dude, you have to be very careful because you are going to be enmeshed with those people 90% of the time for the rest of your kids, growth, like at least till they turn 19.
Oh, for sure. But it's not every situation is as linear as that. Now, the person I'm talking about, you could spot it a mile off. He was a fucking idiot. He was 24 years old, and his main mode of transport was a fucking skateboard. Like, why are you sleeping with this person? Idiot. But you have got that are very good at manipulating and then sort of, like you say, love bombing to control. And women find themselves tied up with these fucking horrible cunts. But that's a different kettle of fish. This is not the same
Yeah.
thing. This Lewis was a fucking retard, and Laura should have seen it a mile off, and she didn't. Or she
Yeah.
chose, or she did see it, and she just chose to look away. And I think she's got 2 kids with him now.
Well, and
And
I think people think they can change people, like they see the potential. And that's the biggest
I,
mistake you can make when you're partner hunting. Don't look at their potential. Look at who they are right now and ask yourself if they never change an absolute iota, can I be with this person for the rest of my life? Like, seriously. Because if you walk into it going, oh, I can change him. Oh, I can fix her, you're in for a whole world of hurt, people. Don't do it.
I
Don't do it.
fuck that. Yeah. Right, I think we covered that question. Let's move on. Right. Dear Agony Aunts, my sibling borrowed money years ago and never paid it back. Should I let it go?
How much are we talking about? Are we talking about a toonie from the Tooth Fairy? Are we talking about like 1,000 or like 100 grand? Like, this is the thing. The amount matters. No, I'm just kidding. How much do you love your sibling, honestly? And how much do you value your relationship? And really, I mean, can you live with it just never saying a word about it? Like, can you live with that and be okay? Are you going to be comfortable, or is it going to fester and then you're going to blow up at a family function and you're going to look like a complete asshole? I think if it's going to fester, you should definitely discuss with your sibling and, you know, maybe have better boundaries about lending money. I think that your sibling is a bit of an ass because they didn't pay you back without being, approached about it. I don't think it's wrong to expect a sibling to pay you back if that was the deal you made. Um, but if not, chalk up to loss and just don't do it again in the future. You have to know, right? Like if it's a big amount, then, obviously you might not be able to swallow that easily. But if it's like $5 or $10 or $20, maybe just let it go. Like, but also say, you know, when they ask you to borrow again, be like, well, no, I'm not going to do that. And if they ask why, then you can explain it to them. I mean, good communication. It's good boundaries, really. It comes back down to boundaries.
No, you are right. I think the only other thing I would add to that is like, well, you already covered the amount. I mean, there's not really specifics in these things, which is kind of, you have to make your own conclusions, don't you? But I think it depends on what situation you're currently in and what situation they're currently in. Because you have got some people that are just forever fucking on the borrow. They're not bad people. That's just how they are and how they've lived and how they always live. And that's just them. That in mind, if that's who you've lent money to, then bigger the fool you. Lend it knowing that you're probably not going to get it back. And
Yes.
if it's such an amount that you couldn't afford to miss it, don't give it away at all. That would be my advice. But
Yeah,
lending money to people,
absolutely.
I've lent money to people before that you just wouldn't lend money to. And there used to be this guy in the estate, just a little fucking rat, junky fucking rat cunt, thieving little prick. And he wanted to borrow like 20 quid or whatever it was. And I gave it to him. And someone was like, "You're never going to get that back. He's a junkie. What are you doing giving that back to him?" And I was like, "No, but the reason I've done it is because now he's going to avoid me forever. I've paid £20 essentially to fuck him off out of my life. I know I'm not going to see."
Yeah, that's a very true statement. And I've done the same thing too,
But
but I always know in those situations I'll never see it again and I'm fine with it,
yeah,
and I don't have a problem with doing that.
it is
But I
basically
mean,
a price to pay to get someone like that out of your fucking life. And it's
mhm.
the best money could I ever spent. I never saw the money again, but I didn't see him again either. And we're talking like 20 years ago. Do you know what I mean?
He's still gone. He's long gone.
I'm gone.
Yep.
I'll never see that again. But I knew that when I gave it to him. But I never liked him. He was a fucking wrong un. He was always on the rob and the steal. And it's like, if I give you this money, you're going to avoid me forever. Deal. Deal. I either get the money back and no harm, no foul, or I never see you again. Hopefully it's the latter. And it was. It's also a good test to see like who's honest and who isn't. Would you pay that small amount of cash to find out the honesty of your mate or sibling or whoever it is?
Yeah, you know what? That's a very good point too. I think that's amazing. If they come to you and pay it back willingly without being harped, that's great. I mean, there is nothing more annoying than, lending people money and then seeing, they don't pay it back and then they're off doing their next vacation to Bahamas. I mean, or they're just being stupid with their money. I mean, that can be annoying, but, you have to learn to let some of that stuff go. It's like, know who you're lending the money to. And like Dee said, you're paying basically to find out if they're trustworthy or not, right? And
Yeah. So
somebody in the comments, we've had a few people, the begrudging said, "You never let it go, but never truly believe in it either." And Sue says, "Yep, I agree with D." And then there were some, yeah. So that's some of the comments too. So
yeah,
you've been agreed with.
I knew I was right. I always fucking knew it.
You are right. I like your answer better. You did this one really well.
I do try. Right, next. At what point do you stop trying to protect your children from every mistake and let them learn the hard way, even when you can see the train coming?
No. This is a good one for me. Um, okay, parents, sit down. Come here to Agony Auntie. Let me tell you all about it. When they turn 19, okay? Okay, parenting ends at 19, but being a parent does not end at 19, okay? It just keeps going and going and going. Nothing outlasts a parent. neither, all right? Okay, listen to me closely. You can no longer control or consequence your children for the dumb shit that they do. But if you are watching them do dumb shit as a parent, you are still responsible to tell them what you think in a respectful way that you'd speak to an adult. Say, well, this is what I see happening right now. This is what the potential risks are. You're an adult, you make your own choices. I'll respect those choices. But as an adult, you'll have to live with those consequences. And then walk away and allow them to do what they're going to do in their own life. And I think that's a big problem. A lot of parents don't understand that their kids um hmm, are, well, they're adults and they have freedom of choice, and it sucks, but you have to realize what is yours to own. So if something horrible happens to them, that's their stuff. That's not for you to own and get all in a tizzy about. Those are their consequences, and they have to live with those consequences. We can be sad, we can feel bad about it, but we don't get to um, they're not, it's not our stuff. So when you kind of detach slightly and realize that some people need to learn the hard way, that some people will only learn the hard way, you know, that is really important. I mean, we all make mistakes and we all have to live with the consequences, not enabling it. If you don't agree with the choice they make, you can have very strong boundaries surrounding it. I've made those, okay? Um, you can just take your stand, but you really can't force your will on an adult person, whether they're your child or not. This is my opinion. This is my lived experience. I'm going to tell you guys, it's not easy. There's not a magical switch that when your kid turns, into an adult, that you just stop caring, or, you let go of being the parent. But you still have to be a parent without parenting. You can give them your advice, you can give them your counsel, but ultimately you have to respect them and respect their choices while maintaining your boundaries and your sense of peace. That's all I have to say.
No, I mean, that's probably a lot more profound than anything I've got to say. I don't have children, so I'm looking at this maybe in a bit too much of a logical way, because my answer to this would be it wouldn't matter of their age. I think it truthfully matters whether or not they could carry the weight of consequence of their choices. And like I know for a fact that when I was younger, if I was being screamed and shouted at not to do something, well, I'm just going to go and do it. I have to be told why it's a bad idea. And when I was like 14, 15, I was hanging around with a group that were not the best group of kids. And my dad got wind of the kids that I was knocking around with. And it wasn't a case of like ripping my head off about it. He was actually all right about it. But he did say, like, if you want to see your future, have a look at your pals. So see your friends. Show me your friends and I'll show you your future.
Very
And
wise, Dad.
and none of them to this day have really done anything good. A lot of them did end up in prison or worse. So he was right, but it was put across to me in such a way that it was a lesson that I was old enough to understand. Because
Yeah.
about that age, like you start getting it. Once you realise, like, you're coming up to that age of like leaving school, you're going to be an adult. Have a look at who you're fucking knocking around with, because that's the future.
Hmm.
And it it did wake me up. I'm not saying it will wake like that for everyone, but obviously I think he knew as well, and I know looking back at it now, the weight of the, or potential weight of those consequences of hanging around with those people. Could I do 12 years inside of a prison for doing something I shouldn't have been doing? Could I? Could I live with doing some of the horrible things that they've done to get to where they are? No. And I think even at that age, I kind of knew. I knew that's not what I wanted. So it wasn't a case of I'm being screamed at to just not do it. It's like you're being told why it's a bad idea. Don't
I
yell.
think
You
I
can
think
only.
that's what your dad did so right there, D. He didn't scream at you. He didn't yell at you. He came to you and asked you questions and listened for your answer. I think as a parent, that's really when your kid gets to be a certain age, we still have a responsibility to tell them,
Yeah.
but it's still their free will if they're going to listen. And you were smart enough to hear your dad's wisdom and his advice and to think about that.
Well, the thing
'Cause
is,
unfortunately, not everybody's.
no, but I knew at the time what he was telling me wasn't because he didn't like the people I was hanging around with. It wasn't. If I thought that, it would have just been, oh, you just don't like him, and I was
Mhm.
that way. But I knew that wasn't the case. It's like he wants the best for me. It's gonna sound harsh. My dad has no fucking interest invested in them. He wants the
Mhm.
best from his kid, so
Yes.
he's gonna give me that advice. And it's like, look, these kids are gonna do what they're gonna do. You don't. Do you want that? Because they ain't going nowhere. Is that what you want, son? Is it really? And
Mm.
yeah, I was smart enough to take it on, but I mean, I wasn't the fucking perfect kid even after that. But like I say, I think it comes down to whether or not they can carry the weight of that consequence. Now, it depends what the
Yeah.
situation is that you're pulling your kid out of. If it's like, I don't know, they're quite young, they meet their first girlfriend or boyfriend, and you see that that person that they're dating is just a prick, and it's like they're not good for you. Again, screaming and shouting ain't going to do it. You've got to advise them. You can only
No,
advise.
it's like this. It's usually like this. The
Yeah,
more that you rail against it, so it's not even so much what you say, it's how you say it. And as an adult child, right, with parents, you're giving the perspective of what it's like as the child, like the adult child in the situation, which is really good information for parents who are struggling.
yeah. Well, I try, but yeah, I think
A
that's
few
about.
people were commenting, D. Sue said that's a hard one for me. And Wendy said, and going and going. Yes, Wendy. And it goes and goes until we die and we're free. No, just kidding. Yeah.
But again,
Nobody prepared me for the 20s, okay? The 20s, I will take the terrible twos. I will take the teenage years any day, hands down, over the 20s, okay? The 20s are so fucking hard, man. I'm just going to tell you. This question is a hard question. And you know what? If you've been through it, as a parent, it's not easy. And nobody talks about it. Nobody tells you that when your kids become adults, like they turn 20, that you have to, you have to force yourself to step back and you have to respect them as adults, understand that they're your choice, that they're their choices, even if they're fucking pouring a can of gas on their life and striking a match and you're watching them burn. Dude, like Tony Hawkins, like bonfire. Holy shit, guys. Like, honestly, it's rough. I mean, nobody tells you about that part. But if you can learn to detach and realize it's their shit, you've done your part as a parent, let it go and breathe and just understand that they're going to have to make their own mistakes if they're not learning from the wisdom.
yeah, I think as long as whatever the consequence of what they're doing doesn't bear something like a fucking 10-year long prison sentence or the death of someone, let them find out for themselves the hard way. If they're
Well,
going out,
Dee, what are you going to do if your kid's 21, 22, and
this is
they live on their own and you can't, like, what are you supposed to do if they're making decisions that going to land them in prison? All you can do is talk. You can't do
yeah,
shit.
no, but at that point, like this is the problem with parental advice. It's so invaluable. It's invaluable at an age when we don't listen. That's the problem. But as you get older, once your kids start, like you say, getting into their twenties might not look like yours. And whilst your advice, no doubt, is not necessarily bad, it's not impartial, and it's about an experience that perhaps you didn't live. When
Mhm.
typically enough, they'd be at an age where they'd fucking want to listen to it. So, yeah, that's got its caveats. Parental advice. I think as long as you're good parents, it's worth listening to. But shouting and screaming ain't it. Like that conversation I had with my dad, that was probably one of the few times he actually sat me down and actually had a conversation. Because any other time prior to that, it was just fucking screaming and yelling and arguing. And it
Dad
95,
nailed it there, man. Like he nailed it, D. Like that was a good talk.
95% of the time, I wouldn't get that out of my dad. But I think when it really mattered, I think that was the other thing as well that sort of made me think. because he wasn't kicking off. He wasn't in a fucking bad mood about it. There was no temper raging or anything like that. It was a very calm and collected conversation, and it was like, he's not angry. It's not anger. This is like a lesson here. This isn't,
This is real talk, right?
yeah, a proper fucking discussion. I think it was probably
Yeah.
one of the few times at that age he spoke to me like a proper adult. So
Mhm.
that aspect of it as well. I think if you want to patronise a 16-year-old, you're going to see the worst of them.
You have to show your children respect, and I think that's a lot of things that parents don't really understand, is that your kids are worthy of being respected, and you have to treat them, especially as they get older in their teenage years, with the respect that you would hope that they'll carry themselves with as they become adults. And that's really important, because if they feel like you're respecting them, then they're going to be more likely to respect you. And I'm not saying that's always possible, okay? We're human beings. Parents are humans. Like, like a lot of people think that parents don't have, they don't get tired, they don't get hungry, they're not going to make mistakes. Of course we all do that. We're tired. We get overwhelmed, we get frustrated. Sometimes fear can make you react badly, but the key to it is to try to come back to it and show your kids that you're not too proud to apologize, and tell them, like, that's all a respect thing, right? Just like
Yeah,
when they have a meltdown, you know, y you want them to come and apologize to you, then you should do the same for your children.
yeah, it's got to go both ways. It's kind of how it works,
If
isn't
they're
it?
respectful, like, if you wanna it's about mirroring respect to your children, showing them what conflict resolution looks like, even between the 2 of you. I mean, it's never gonna be perfect all the time. Like I said, you get tired, you get bitchy, you're stressed out, you're dealing with 100 things, and then your kid's bringing home some biker dude named Bubba or some hooker named Tina, and you're like, "What the fuck?" And meanwhile, you have $1,000 due, and, like, honestly, you guys, like, you might freak out at first, but if you take the time to cool off and you come back and say, "You know what? I wasn't at my best. Let's talk." Those are the things that will go over better even if you make a mistake.
Yeah, it's
That's just
just about
my opinion.
settle. You got to let the dust settle.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Should we move on? We've only got 2 questions left. This is
Yeah, sure. Let's give her.
rambled. Right. So the next one, again, it's quite a fucking serious one, really. For 6 years, I've had an online relationship with someone I've never met. The person has complex mental health and previous traumas, and I can't commit at the moment due to family obligations. I don't want to close the door because I love them and one day want us to be together, but it feels so far away.
Oh, this is tough. This comes down to, are you really um people with mental health issues deserve love. People with trauma issues deserve love. But you have to ask yourself, are you really willing to put in the amount of effort and work? And this is coming from somebody that has struggled with mental health in the past and severe trauma issues. Um, are you willing to put in the work that it will take to have a healthy relationship? And also, are they doing the things that they need to be doing to work through those issues, or live the best quality of life? Because if they're staying stuck and they're not moving forward, they're not doing things to help their mental health, and they're not doing things to work through their trauma, it's going to be a very draining and eventually toxic situation. And, I am very objective when it comes to this stuff, but you have to know what you're taking on. And you need to have a certain level of patience and self awareness then, if you want to be in a relationship like that. Now, if you ask yourself all those questions and you truly love this person and you believe that they're doing all the things that they need to do, then I wish you guys all the best. Talk about the fact that you need to take a break and see if the other person's willing to wait. But if they're not, I would really suggest that you end things where they're at, because this is not going. I've seen so many people get involved with people that aren't progressing. They're not moving forward. They're staying stuck. And they don't have, you can't fix somebody. They have to
No.
want that for themselves. So please don't get the wrong impression where I'm saying that people that are traumatized or are struggling with mental health aren't deserving of love, that they aren't, shouldn't be in relationships. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, are they doing the things that they need to do to work through those issues? And do you have the personality type where you won't be losing your patience? You will be understanding because it will require, especially in the beginning while they're healing, a fair amount of patience, love, and attention from you. It won't be 50-50. It won't
No.
be. It just won't be. And you have to ask yourself, it seems all great when everything's shiny, but when reality sets in, are you going to be okay with those extra needs? And it's not that they won't give back, but will it be as consistent or in the ways that you need them to at that moment? I don't think so. So think very carefully before taking this kind of thing up and make sure that your peace, that your joy is safeguarded and that you have something to offer and that you're not trying to fix the person. Because if you're in that fix it role, you will completely implode the relationship anyways. It's not healthy. It's not good. And it will end toxically for all of you. You can't enable certain behaviors. You can't be the fix it. There's so many things, so many factors. I don't have all the information, but that's my best advice from where I'm at, from what I've gone through. And obviously, I'm not against loving relationships, but the people have to put in the work. They have
Yeah.
to. It's work. And
No,
if
I agree with you. Actually, you looked at it a bit of a different angle than to what I did, because like the first thing that got me with this was for 6 years. It's like, hang on a minute, your indecision for 6 years, 6 years of your indecision is making a decision, and you're making a decision for someone else that has no say in this. It's not fair. Shit or get off the fucking pot, because you're holding up someone else's life, someone else that
yeah,
needs to. It ain't fair on them. It's not fair on you. And the family obligations. I mean, again, I don't know what they are, so it's hard to say. But at some point, if you're really serious about it, you have to look at integrating them into your family and making them an obligation. That's the
yeah,
reality. But to say also, oh, it feels so far away. Well, what have you done in that 6 years to try and fucking close that gap? Have you gone to see them for a week? I mean, again, like the distance thing, they haven't said how far it
yeah,
is. It could be.
yeah. You know what, Dee? You nailed it. I totally skimmed over that piece of it. You're right. 6 years is a long time.
It is, and I think so. Again, depending on the age. Let's say these people are in their 20s. That's usually like the typical age people meet online. To miss 6 years of your 20s out, 6 years of life, 6 years of meeting new people, potential love interests, all of that game, for someone that can't even decide what they want. That's not fair. That ain't fucking fair. You have,
Very true.
and you're holding them to what you want through your fucking procrastination, through your indecision. I actually think it's a little bit cruel, and it might sound that might sound cruel, bearing in mind like, the situation, the family obligations, and all the rest of it. It's like they're saying that they don't want to close the door because they love them, but you're not really. You've just got a fucking brick in the way of the door at the moment. You haven't got it open for them. There's
Yeah,
no
you know
mental.
what? You're dead on. Yeah.
I actually think it's a little bit cruel. If it was like 6 months, I'd probably feel a little bit different. But 6 years, like over half a decade, come on now. Either you're
That's
serious,
very true.
but which is it? Do you know what I mean? Are you serious or are you not? If you're not, your love for this person ain't love. It's control. It's not love.
You're right.
Let it
Yep.
go. Let it go. Let them be happy, and you find your own happiness elsewhere. Or arrange to meet them and close that distance of feeling so far away. Because you might meet these people and you might not like them. They might not like you. You just might not jealous people. There's
That's
also that.
true. Yep.
It's good to say, oh, I love them, but you've never lived with them. You've never met them. It's like,
Yeah, you know what, Dee, you're really right on the money there. I miss the boat, I'll be honest, but
well,
there's
I'm sure about it as well. To be fair, like I think we cover all angles of it between us.
yeah,
I'm get as far as actually looking into the person they're talking about. I just saw like 6 years. You've wasted 6 years of someone else's life because you can't
yeah.
make. You've got family obligations that have gone on for half a decade. Either fuck them off or adjust it.
Yeah,
You know, shit will get off the pot. I don't see any reason to keep this going on any longer than it already has. 6 years is a long time.
it is
And
a
if
really
you're
long time.
if you're indecisive after 6 years, you don't want it. It shouldn't take you that long to make your fucking mind up.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I've got to say for that. Again, I don't know who put this question in or whatever, and whoever it is, I really hope you find a way to make it work. But at the moment, you're stringing them along for your own benefit, for your own fucking need. It's not fair. It's not right.
Yeah, that's true.
They've got their own issues to deal with, and you're fucking with their head even further. It's not right. If you really cared for them, you'd really care for them, and they fucking ain't. I don't know who sent this in
Mhm.
with it. So yeah, Bosh.
Yes, I think we nailed all angles of that one.
I believe so. We've only got one more question anyway, and then we're done. Episode 3, Tara. Can you fucking believe it?
I know, it's just amazing.
Mad, isn't it? My teacher said I'd amount to nothing. Look at me now, Mr. Phillips. Look at me now.
Dude, I got a few of those.
Right, let's get this last question done. Dear Agony Aunt and Uncle, my family insists they tell it like it is and think, I think they're rude. They think I'm oversensitive and need to harden up. Is there any way to settle an argument like that?
Oof, ooh, man, dude.
Half an
I could have written this one myself, okay? This is tough. You know what? It comes back down to boundaries and enforcing them. You know, a lot of people, and especially from the older generations, it was like suck it up, buttercup. And, um, and in a sense, okay, I do have that attitude in a sense. In a certain sense, because I'm older. And I think that sometimes people can be, too butthurt about too many things. But I think sensitivity in itself is not a bad thing. And
no,
I don't think that people use telling it like it is to be rude and as an excuse and as a get out of jail free card. And I don't like that. I've seen it happen in my own family. And I think it's incredibly um demeaning and very much devaluing the person that it's being done to. And I think that we teach other people how to treat us. And I don't think that it's wrong for you to disagree and to set boundaries and enforce them when they start getting like that. You know, again, it comes back down to boundaries and learning to set boundaries and understanding that when you set boundaries at first, it's going to feel like it got a lot worse before it gets better. And sometimes that means if people are being rude to you on the phone, you're like, okay, this conversation isn't bearing any good fruit. This is what I use. I'm leaving now. Bye, click. And I just am done. And I've taught many a family member not to be doing those kind of behaviors to me simply over the phone by ending the conversation. If it's in the same house, that took me longer. What I'll do is I'll still say the same thing. This conversation is not bearing any good fruit and leave. And I just end it. And if they follow me, oh my God, I tell them that's on them. If you follow me after I remove myself from the situation and you're no, then I'm not responsible for the massacre that is about to ensue. Okay? That's when I go scorched earth. Because I've set my boundary and I've walked away from the conversation. And if they don't respect that boundary, what they get is what they get. And that's my philosophy, like, don't follow me. I don't like that. Give me time to like move on.
no,
So
that's
it's not always possible. I'm sorry, but I've been haunted by people that like to follow. And that's a fucking rude thing to do. If you're a follower, if somebody removes themselves and you follow, you are a fucking bastard. Okay, don't do that. Give people a chance to cool down or to like remove themselves, like respect boundaries. Anyways, do that if you can, but it's not always possible. And then, there's not much you can do except for maybe put in some headphones and just tune them out. You know what? Honestly, enforce your boundaries because they're not going to protect your peace. You have to protect your peace. It is going to get harder before it gets better, but stick to it. Don't give up, and it will get better. I promise.
No, again, very, very solid advice. You kind of nailed it as well when you said the people that say they tell it like it is. There's telling it like it is, and then there's telling it like it is. And there's ways of saying things. You can be diplomatic about something.
Yep.
You can say it like it is without being a cunt. And these
Yes.
people are able to do that. They won't ever say, "I tell it like it is." These people that gladly pronounce, "I tell it like it is," you're an cunt.
Dude.
But you're just offensive. You're just a fucking nasty cunt. You're not telling it like it is. You're telling it like you think it is. And you're also the same sort of people that don't like being told how other people think it is. So fuck you. And I would say to this person, if you're not anything like them, that's fucking beautiful. Good for you. There's nothing wrong with being oversensitive. You might be a little bit oversensitive, but they'll always be an offensive cunt. So they can hold that. That's all I've got to say for it.
Yes.
I don't. This whole, people when they say like, "Oh, you're oversensitive." I mean, no one ever says it to me, funnily enough. But as someone that is not that sensitive, I am wary of those who are. You can't ask them to toughen up. That's just their nature. If
Yes.
if you're tough enough, you come down to their level. You don't have to be a fucking prick. You can. It is possible to have a conversation with someone that is oversensitive, and it'd be quite nice if you're quite nice. There's loads of,
Yes.
and there's actually quite a lot of people I've met off of Substack that are that way inclined, and they've described themselves as oversensitive. And it's like they say it in such a way that it's a negative thing. I don't think it is. The world is a fucking cold, cold place. It could do with a little bit more sensitivity. You don't need more people like me in it. It'd be fucking horrible.
It takes everybody to make the world function well. We can't have everybody all up in their feelings all the time. And we can't have everybody that doesn't have any, attachment to their feelings. We need a balance. And when we really, really realize that we need each other, we'll stop putting each other's qualities down because I think, the sensitivity is needed. But then we also need people to come in and say, hey, and, bring a more logical view to it. You need the balance. It's like yin and yang, in my opinion.
Yeah, but you don't
And
have to be horrible about it. That's what I'm saying.
no,
Subject is,
no.
even if the subject is a touchy one, you can't.
It's not what you say though, D. It's how you say it. You
100%.
can tell people like the truth in the exact same, like the same truth in two very different ways. And one way's one that you do with kindness, and the other way's just being a douchebag. And I'll admit, I've done it both ways myself. Okay, I've done it both ways because we're human. But the
Yeah,
key to it is what are you doing consistently and how often, and what do you do when you are being a dick?
I think it
So.
depends on criticizing as well. If you're criticizing or Substack is a good example for this. If you were criticizing someone's writing, that's like the unthinkable on there, and it's very hard to do so. To do it in such a way that it's not mean, it's not offensive, it's not coming off as. If you can tell someone that you didn't particularly like their writing or anything that they're doing and they're not offended by it, you have got bundles. But a lot of people kind of bypass that and they just say what they think, and it's, well, I tell it like it is. No, you're just
Oh fuck, it's so rude.
it's just an offensive thing. But
I think there's always in those cases, do you
on,
really have to add your 2 cents? Like, is it not possible if you didn't really aren't a fan of something? Isn't it possible just to scroll past and not leave a nasty comment? I mean,
I
just
don't
saying, like,
think disliking something. Like, no one's entitled to like everything you do.
no.
If you can say why you didn't like it, like for whatever fucking reason, if you feel like you got to say anything at all, rather than just fucking shoot them down. I don't even think I would do it publicly, especially if it was like if I was that way inclined. I
Like
would.
PM it. At least
Yeah,
PM it.
I don't want to fucking humiliate them in front of people that follow them and shit like that, or feel like they're being humiliated. I hate that for them. It's like if I really tell you something about your work, then and if especially if it's like negative or if it was done badly or anything like that, it's done in such a way that it's like this is why I think this. It's not you. This is just why I think it, and this is how I can get better. Be constructive with it. Don't just be a fucking arsehole that says it was shit. The end. I mean, fuck
Yeah,
off.
and I mean, make sure that it's not just your opinion, it's something that's actually could be used to improve their writing too. Like, I mean, if you just don't like it, scroll past. Like, if it's not your cup of tea, if it's not the genre you like, don't comment. If it's
Yeah,
something that can help them become a better writer, PM it and don't be an asshole.
exactly. Just be constructive with it. You don't have to be a fucking prick every day. Take a day off. Right. I think that concludes everything, though. We got through 10
We're
questions.
done. Oh, we forgot to do our disclaimer. We did. We forgot to disclaim it. We are
That's
not
always
registered
therapist.
therapists.
I'm
take
sat,
our advice at your own risk, you know?
I'm sat here in a paramilitary fucking balaclava. Do you really think that I'm a proper therapist? I mean, have a fucking word with yourself.
Well, you know
My
what they
forehead,
say about assumptions, D. You know, there's
my
no
fore,
such thing as common sense.
my forehead is an advert. Begrudging Dispatch, by the way. If you're not following them, you should be. But we're not that serious. Maybe we can help a few people out with their problems, maybe not. But ultimately, like, we had fun, didn't we? That's all that really matters. Fuck everyone
It's
else.
always a good time. It's always fun, you guys. We
Absolutely.
love having you in our audience. We love having you guys come and hang out with us. And we love those questions you keep sending in.
Yeah, I'll have to update the link. It seems to like expire every fucking 24 hours, which is kind of annoying. But we will do this again. I don't know when, because I think I'm out next Friday for a bit. But sometime over the weekend, next weekend we'll do it.
Sounds like a plan. Thanks,
It's
Dee. It was a pleasure as always.
likewise. Thank you everyone for tuning in. I couldn't see who was online, who commented. I couldn't see any of that shit. So I'm not ignoring you like I usually do. This time I really can't see it. So sorry.
Sue
Have a
said brilliant. Sarah said love the vibes. And Wendy said, you guys are awesome. You nailed it. I'm going to message Jason right now.
confess your love for him. Right.
Yeah, girl. You go. Go get him. Okay,
Yeah,
bye,
exactly.
guys.
Right. It's been a pleasure. Take care, everyone. Have a brilliant weekend. Love ya. Mwah.
Bye. Oh, crap.